Hey brother! Ben, dare I say No Shave November is going quite well. Or as my wife likes to say, you look like an idiot. A question I get all the time is, will The Good Dinosaur fit into the Pixar theory? Well, having seen about 30 minutes of the movie myself, I feel pretty confident that it will, but I won't know exactly how until we see the movie on Thanksgiving. And with just 3 weeks to go, today I wanted to get everyone ready to see the movie with my top 10 things to look for in The Good Dinosaur. I am particularly excited for The Good Dinosaur, if not just because earlier this year when I had a chance to visit Pixar, I got to learn so much about the behind the scenes of this movie. And as a result, I have a feeling this movie is going to be a little bit more of an art piece than people are expecting. Kind of like WALL-E. There's that real core relationship plus awesome animation. But in WALL-E we had trash and space, and in The Good Dinosaur we will have Earth and nature. Because there is such a heavy focus on nature and landscaping in this film, I don't think it's going to lend itself as well to as many Easter eggs as you might expect in a Pixar movie. I'm sure there will still be plenty, and I cannot wait to go hunting for them with you guys. But because of that, this list is also going to include a couple of animation and effects type things that I think you should be aware of, so that when you're watching the movie, you have a much greater appreciation for what you're actually seeing. Anyway, let's get started. Number 10? John Ratzenberger. Ah yes, the lowest hanging of fruits in a Pixar film. If you don't know, Ratzenberger has voiced a character in every single Pixar film. Sometimes it's a bigger role like Ham or P.T. Flea, and sometimes it's a much smaller cameo role like it was in Inside Out. If you missed it, he was one of those little jelly bean worker guys at the very end of the movie installing the new Emotions console. Number 9, something for Finding Dory. It's a common tradition in Pixar films to leave an Easter egg in the current film for the next film. This almost ensures that not all the Easter eggs will be found because you need to go see the next film, then come watch this one again to see what the Easter egg was. For example, in Inside Out, they planted this right at the beginning. While Riley's family is traveling to San Francisco, they stop and take a picture with a dinosaur. That dinosaur is known as the pet collector in The Good Dinosaur. Note to self, dinosaur is definitely a word you can say too many times in one sentence. We know the next Pixar film coming out is Finding Dory, so I would expect to see an actual character, or at least species, from the next film. The tricky part is Finding Dory takes place in the ocean, which is saltwater, and The Good Dinosaur will follow a river, which is freshwater. Plus, The Good Dinosaur just takes place so long ago, so whatever species it is will need to be something that can stand the test of time, like whales or crocodiles or sea turtles. 150, dude, and still young! Gonna need more than 150 years for this one, crush. Number 8, Arlo's house. This isn't actually an Easter egg, just something I think you should pay attention to because it's really cool. The house Arlo's family lives in is first the only piece of architecture in the entire film, or at least so I've been told. And what I love about it, and what you won't actually learn in theaters, is that the animators went through the process of imagining how the Apatosauruses would build the house. Like, could they move this log there? Could they get that rock there? And if they couldn't imagine how they would do it, then it wouldn't get included. You won't actually get to see them building the house, but because they went through this entire process, the house you end up seeing on screen looks much more natural and just adds one more layer of believability to what you're seeing. I love this because it just shows how much backstory they put into every little thing on screen, even if they don't tell you that backstory. And half of what we do on this channel is try and figure that stuff out, and this is just sort of proof that there is stuff to be figured out. So my challenge for you when you see the house is just try to imagine, how would they have built this? Because apparently they could have. Number 7 and 6, A113 and the Pizza Planet truck. Yeah, you knew these were going to be on here. Definitely more low-hanging fruit here, but if you don't know, the code A113 and the Pizza Planet truck appear in pretty much every Pixar movie. If you miss them in Inside Out, A113 appears as graffiti on a wall, and the Pizza Planet truck can actually be found 3 times.
Pizza Planet truck on this one. I'll give you a hint. It's in the memories.
Okay.
But it appears 3 times in the film, and each one, if you stop on that frame and look for it, you'd still be challenged to find it.
I've only seen it been found twice, here and here, so I guess it exists at least one more time. Happy hunting. The tricky thing for these two with The Good Dinosaur is that they don't lend themselves well to the movie. none of the characters can write, and because it's so far in the past, there's no machinery. So for the Pizza Planet truck, I'm thinking maybe some sort of weird rock formation and or possibly like a constellation in the stars? Or maybe most likely is if we meet other humans in the movie, which everyone seems to be pretty unsure about, but certainly they must exist. I don't know if we'll actually get to see any, but I would bet wherever they're camped out is going to be a treasure trove of Easter eggs. Number 5, Kevin from Up. This one's definitely more of a long shot. Not sure if it would be the full-grown bird or just a baby, but we know in Up, Muntz is looking for a prehistoric bird, and now we're in prehistoric times. Geographically, it could be a problem because Up takes place in South America, and this takes place in North America in like the Wyoming Teton Mountain Range area. We don't know how far and wide Kevin's species was spread. Number 4, Dinoco. First seen as a gas station in Toy Story, and then in Cars as the sponsor like McQueen is going after throughout the whole movie. Dinoco has been around for a while, and their logo just happens to be an Apatosaurus. Now, to be fair, the Apatosauruses we see in the movie are green, not blue, but I guess it's possible we could run into a blue one. Like a shiny Pokemon! But I think it would be much more likely for us to see it drawn on like a cave wall if we do see humans. I mean, that's what caveman drawings always are, like animals, so that would be an animal they'd be drawing. Number 3, bugs. There's not a new Bugs Life movie coming out, but there are plenty of bugs to be seen in The Good Dinosaur. I don't think we'll see any familiar faces because, you know, bugs don't live that long. But I wouldn't be surprised if they reuse some character models. I mean, how great would it be if we just saw like a colony of blue ants walking around? Speaking of A Bug's Life, that brings us to number 2, the Pixar tree. How could they do a movie so focused on nature and landscaping and not include the Pixar tree? If you don't know, the Pixar tree was first seen in A Bug's Life at the center of Ant Island, and then in Toy Story 2, and as the tree Ellie and Carl visit for picnics in Up. Now, to be fair, those movies would suggest that the tree exists in California, so we might be in the wrong place. But if the Pixar theory is to be believed, then the tree has been standing for a long time, and I would love to see it again in The Good Dinosaur. And number 1, animated haikus. What? Yeah, you heard me. Animated haikus. And even if you don't know it, I'm betting you are actually already familiar with one. The leaves in the rain. In short, an animated haiku is a brief 5-second or less shot of nature or the surrounding area that helps sets the mood or feeling of the scene. They're not necessary to the plot and can be incredibly time-consuming to make, but director Pete Sohn wanted to make sure they were in the film to really help set the atmosphere and tone of each scene. And when I say time-consuming, I mean it. Those leaves, which are on screen for like less than 3 seconds, took a month to create. Like 4 weeks for 3 seconds. That might sound like a waste of time, but think back to when that trailer first came out. Everyone was going crazy for those leaves. I mean, I set it as my desktop background. I saw people change their profiles pictures to it. It's just proof that if you put enough time and dedication into something, even if it's super tiny detail like trees or leaves in the rain, it can make a huge impact. I don't know what other haikus are going to be in the film, but just be on the lookout for them, because if they're anything like those leaves, I'm thinking it's going to be pretty stunning. So Ben, that's my top 10 things to look for in The Good Dinosaur. My question for you and everyone else is, how excited are you for this movie? Will you be seeing it when it comes out on Thanksgiving? I know our whole family is already planning on going. Super excited for it. And what other movies are you excited to see in the upcoming winter? I personally am looking forward to The Hunger Games and, of course, Star Wars. Let me know down in the towel section below, and I will see you in another life, brother.
These socks are amazing!
Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already. It really helps the channel out. Also, we are still accepting entries into our SuperCarlinBrothers YouTube cover page image redesign contest, whatever you want to call it. I will leave a link down to the correct dimensions for a YouTube cover image. If you want to create one, you can just email it to us at supercarlinbrothers@gmail.com. We'll be sifting through all the cool entries we've gotten. We've got some cool ones already, and revealing that sometime next month. So, good luck.